Right, Storm Chasers, we have a very familiar face, Dr. Linda Salmon. As you guys know, she is the creator and founder and master metaphysician over at Wicks of Wisdom Candles. You guys know I have been advertising them for years at this point, using them for years. We'll get into that in the video as well. She has been a psychic for over 30 years or 31.
Coming into 31, if you think about it, the plane crash was now 43 years ago.
Okay.
February 17th, 1981. But it took me like 12 years of craziness trying to figure out what to do with it before I actually accepted it. But I would say it's 30 years this year I started radio. Yeah.
30,
and you met the guy that gave me my start.
I sure did. And as well as she's one of the best broadcasters out there. So you got the number one, my favorite psychic, my top psychic, period. But top psychic, top radio broadcaster. What can't this woman do? And here's another thing too. Apparently she's going to take on a new title of being my lover. Dr. Linda Salmon, welcome to the show.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I am great. I just left your house, apparently.
Yes, you did. Why don't you show them the background? Show them our boudoir.
You know what? I would.
Don't give them anything to fantasize about, Stormy.
You know. Wait. Let's do this. Let's show them real quick. We wouldn't want them to feel left out. Mm-hmm. But I will say I had a great time with you. Really, this Christmas season, because I saw you twice in 2 weeks.
Yes,
right?
You did. For those that don't know the truth, because you guys assume everything you hear and watch online. Storm came out to visit his mom from where he lives now, and he flew out to Los Angeles. I happened to have been in Washington, D.C. until Christmas Eve. Storm was already here, and then it was Christmas, and then after Christmas Day, I caught a 3.5-week something virus, whatever, but Storm and I did go out to our favorite Italian restaurant before he left to go back to where he lives now.
That place. Love that place. Yeah,
Cashapp is one. It's romantic, it's passionate, it's down-home food, it's real Italian from Sicily, and it's well prepared with love.
Absolutely.
But the following week was going to be my birthday, and we were in between your dates, and you said, I'll just fly back out for the party. I said, you would? And he did. So I had a 70th birthday party on January 13th. My birthday's the 12th, like Howard Stern, Rush Limbaugh, who's now deceased, and Kirstie Alley, and a few other of us on January 13th. And Storm was
too. Jesus. I just remembered that.
Yeah. Oof. Storm was one of about 75 people at my party. It wasn't just me and Storm people. I know a few people. And there were lawyers and accountants and a Grammy winner and an actor and business owners and creative people, writers. I mean, just a group of people that I have known. One went back to 4th grade, all the way to the producer who's going to be working with me, who wants to take me into a new venture, who I've known maybe a year. So my life came together. My 94-year-old father was there. You got to meet my dad.
I did get to meet him, yes.
You even sat at his table.
Right across from him. I sure did.
Yeah. And he's still pretty coherent. For 94, he's still got it,
No, he was. He definitely was. Once he warmed up a little bit, he was fine.
Yeah, and his caregiver and his girlfriend. And then there were different sections of people with all the food. Should I tell people what we served just to give them a little idea?
Why not? Tell them, yeah.
We had filet mignon, we had salmon patties, no breading. We had a vegetable medley, we had salads, we had lemon bars, we had cheesecake, individual cheesecakes. We had a 1.5 foot long, tall, all chocolate cake.
Delicious.
My friend Brittany made that. She's a cake decorator. I spoke to her today, and I said, I could not keep that in the house. So she gave it to a friend. It was so decadent, they ate it. But, my friend Han, whose husband was George Brown from Kool and the Gang, and a lot of people don't know Kool and the Gang, and a lot of people know the band from the 60s and 70s. Celebrate your life. Well, George died back in November, and I was asked to do the eulogy at the funeral. You want to talk entertainment? You want to talk Hollywood? That's Hollywood.
That's Hollywood.
That was
Absolutely.
real Hollywood. And I was honored to give the eulogy for my friend because she didn't want me to talk about the celebrity. We all know he's a celebrity. She wanted the man, the heart, the soul, the man of faith who loved Judaism. He was buried with the Star of David, even though he's not Jewish. But he and I had so much in common spiritually. It's what brought us together. We know we had past lives from Egypt. He would have been 75 on the 15th, where I turned 70 on the 12th. But Han, his wife, offered to cater my party. And at first she wanted it at their home, which would have been great, but it didn't feel right for the location. And we brought it, she cooked everything herself. We served up a huge feast. We had 8 tables with heaters.
Yes.
We had a fire pit burning with wood, and people would snuggle up to like a campfire. And
it was beautiful. It was, yeah, we literally got to, we had people there who, I came into your life 4 years ago. And then as of like March, I think 4 years ago. And then we had people who knew you since you were a little girl. I mean, then of course your father who knew you since birth.
Yeah, well, of course he was there. So you can see how much I look like him.
Yeah, and it was nice to see. Like, to me, that's your legacy. The things that people say about you, the stories they have, the impact.
Oh, tell me, I have no idea.
I mean, she's literally saved people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
Marriages, helped save their mental health, physical health, spiritual health.
There were 2 people, my friend Hillary, who was a neighbor for 20 years or 16 years, and we all lived in a different area. I sold my house, they sold their house, and one other couple. All 3 of us sold within like 16 months of each other, and we all went our different ways, but brought all of us together. And Hillary said, is anybody going to say anything about you? I said, no. But so she gets up, and her dog, they had these huge Armenian, whatever, they're huge, like 160-pound dogs, and dragged her on the street one day, and I went to help her get up. The guy across the street had a huge beveled mirror that cracked, and his face and arms were full of blood, and he would have bled out had I not been home to take him to the hospital. So Roxanne got up to thank me. So I forgot, because I just do things to help people, except with the people that online, they don't think I do anything. But yes, I am a psychic, I am a healer, and I'm a neighbor, and I'm a daughter, and I have friends, and the honor of having someone like you come. I even said to you, I'm honored you would fly back out. I don't expect anything.
Well, you don't turn 70 every day.
No, that's true. That's true. But I don't feel 70. I feel like, it doesn't matter how I feel great. I take care of myself. I do nutritional things. I take nutritional products to cleanse my insides. I've done the emotional work of the past to let go of a lot of the abuse, the betrayal, the pain, the negativity that we all carry.
Yes.
It's work to fix the inside. We can all look great on the outside. You can nip, tuck, cut your hair, dye your hair, put on clothes, don't put on clothes, put on a hat, don't put on a hat. But how do you feel?
How are you in here?
How do you
feel? If this is still messed up, you're going to be messed. I know someone in my life right now who looks great, beautiful, but they are still dealing with things from their childhood, past relationships and disappointments. And can we just also speak about the fact that people, I'm going to tap on my mic. I know you guys can't see it. You can't change anyone. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, you can't. They have to want to change.
Thank you.
Or compromise, or be willing to try or shift. It's like on my Wednesday show for recovery. You don't try to get sober. You decide no more drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
Porn, sex, gambling, whatever. You come to a point where either you do or you don't. You don't try something. It's like, I'm going to try to hold my phone. I'm going to try. No, I hold my phone. Or
I'm going to hold my phone. Yes.
You don't try. Try is half measures. Try doesn't get you anywhere. But if you really want something, you commit. Just like on the show last week, someone said, am I going to get my PhD? I said, well, sign up for school. See if you get accepted. Do the work.
Work for it.
And then you get it.
Work for it. And I even help to coach people, as you guys know, and help them with YouTube, and even people sometimes in their personal life. I've played the therapist even in my family since I was a kid. Because I was
you're the hero. You're the savior.
The fucking savior, right? All right. So I find myself even struggling with, how do you motivate somebody? I know we're all over the place, but we get there. How do you motivate somebody but still do it in a loving way. Because like
It's not with the words, it's with the words, it's at the setting, and they have to be in a decent environment. Like if someone like at a party, if you were one-on-one and they're saying, you know, I really don't feel comfortable at this party, and I really, you know, they might open up to a stranger who might have the right word. Or they're in a group setting and then they're isolated and somebody sees that they're isolated. Or when it comes to someone like you, and we've talked about certain family members of yours when you needed some advice on how to confront him.
Yeah.
And I said, well, here's some suggestions: timing, wording. You don't just blast, hey, you know, you got an addictive problem, you need recovery. It doesn't go that way. You have to work into it. Everybody's different.
I know, but it works for me. Like if someone says, oh, by the way, blah, blah, blah is going to end this way. Oh, is it? Okay. I learned very fast, but I understand that some people have to bump their heads.
They have to bump their heads, trip and fall, crash and burn, go into denial, be miserable.
I'm not that curious.
Egotistical, ego, edging God out, where they're so prideful, ego. No one can hit me. I'm like Mr. Whatever. I'm Miss So-and-so. And inside they're crumbling. But they have to look good with the car and the clothes and the job and the title, you know. But they can go home and cry, and they can go home and be miserable, and they can go home and cringe because the insides don't always match the outsides. I remember thinking that after the plane crash, I'd look in the mirror and go, how come I don't feel the way I look? I knew I was pretty, but I felt so fragmented. Well, yeah, I'd just been in a plane crash, hit by a fire truck, totaled a car, was becoming psychic, wasn't on my path, had no idea what was going on, and I knew I was broken. It took a long time to put the puzzle pieces together so I became whole again. You know, it's not an overnight job. It's a lifelong process.
It's not. It's a very long process. But I feel like it's worth it.
Of course
like
it is.
We keep coming back to figure this shit out. If you don't get it right, you're going to get sent right back.
It is, but it's the quality of life. What kind of quality? It's not just traveling all the time.
Yes.
It's not just eating pizza all the time. It's not just being in the top 5-star restaurant with all the paparazzi here in LA all the time. It's not. Let's talk about that. When Storm came back for my birthday,
yes,
the party was on Saturday. He flew in on Saturday. He got a motel or Airbnb about 7 minutes from my home, rented a car, showed up early, met a lot of people. And then the next day we were all burnt out. So I said, no, I'm not getting together. I just stayed home to like chill. Because first we were going to do a show and it was like the adrenaline and the crash.
It was a lot.
But then on Monday, Tuesday, we got together. You came because I was supposed to go to an Argentinian restaurant with a friend of mine.
Yes.
Remember? And I was so burnt out. But you came over. I said, come over for a few minutes because I gave Storm some new coffee. There's this new coffee on the market that has no burnt taste, no caffeine. That's going to keep you buzzed, but it nutritionalizes your body and stimulates the neurons in your brain. So I gave it to him and he got stoked. And I gave him some green power drink and he got stoked. He wanted more. I said, all right, come over for an hour. Well, by the time the hour passed, it was almost time for dinner. 3 hours later, I said, you want to get a hamburger?
What's up, people? My name is Storm Monroe, and I am a celebrity entertainment reporter. You may have seen me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and various other social media platforms. But today, I'm not here to talk about celebrities in Hollywood or even to gossip with you. I'm actually getting on this camera today to give you a testimonial about Wicks of Wisdom candles. I actually personally started using Wicks of Wisdom candles in March of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. I was super pessimistic about the validity of the candles, but once I started using them, I had no choice but to admit that the candles were super powerful and did everything that Dr. Linda and I discussed. Throughout the candles that I've burned over the last, I want to say 3.5 years now, I've been able to bring abundance in my life, get rid of blocks and obstacles, get rid of dark energy that was thrown at me, as well as protect myself from various dark energies as well. And so depending on what's going on in your life or what you may need the candles for, I would personally recommend them. They are literally a prescription for your soul, and I stand by them wholeheartedly. So once you actually order Wicks of Wisdom candles, you're probably wondering what's all gonna come in your box, right? What should you expect? So first, you should actually expect the candles that come in a set of 3, and the directions on how to properly use the candles, how to light them, how to remain safe while they are being lit will all come in your box. So make sure you actually read the instructions. In addition to that, you're gonna get your oils, okay? The number of oils and the kind of oils that you get in your box is going to be different depending upon whatever situation you have. That could be love, that could be money and success, removing obstacles, good luck, etc. In addition to that, you're going to get your herbs, your powder, and then you should expect your partitions as well, okay? What to actually put on the partitions, how to use them, how to burn them, all of those instructions will be given to you when you make your order.
I didn't
We
want.
went and got a burger, yeah.
We went and got a burger. I didn't want to get all dressed up and put on the makeup and go look at one of these higher end restaurants that wasn't just, I mean, it's casual, but casual elegant. You know the difference. Yeah. Dining versus eating. So we went to a local burger joint. And when the bill came, folks, just so that you know, we go Dutch. I do not. There's been times Storm has picked up the check in the past.
Yes.
There are times Storm would be the gentleman and open the door for me. And then there's times I open the door. I say, let's just go Dutch. I said, pay for the hamburger, though. That I did. But
that was a birthday gift.
I let him know that this isn't a date. I don't expect him, but this man has manners and class. I had a date in Washington, D.C., and walked in front of me, didn't open the door, didn't order for me, nothing, just like no class on how to treat a woman in a restaurant, let alone whatever. That was a different kind of person. I make mental note. You want to be with me? I need some respect as a woman. I don't care if I'm 20 or 70. I know how I was raised and what I need out there from a person who wants to be with me. So we had fun. We came back. We talked. I think that's the night we did the little show and people thought, oh, gosh, they're having an affair, which is why we're doing the show tonight.
Yes, because apparently we're lovers.
Yeah, we're lovers. We were sitting on my sofa. If you know my house, I have 2, one in the den and one in the living room.
Yes.
We were in the den. I have 2 fireplaces, one in the living room and one in the den. I am currently sitting in my studio, which is like an office, but not the office where I work, which Storm has seen how my offices and studios and operation is set up. So somebody online knew right away, instead of love, he's now into Linda.
Oh,
so, what's that girl's name?
I think we're calling her Charisma. I think that's what they call her. And I want to actually pull her picture up because
this got blown out of proportion.
Totally out of proportion. And I'm going to give her some full free promotion today.
But before you do, let me just say one thing about you. Yeah, we'll go to her in a second.
Okay.
Storm and I went to what's one of the most famous Art Deco theaters in Los Angeles called the Pantages.
Oh, to see Michael Jackson. Yeah,
we saw MJ. It is the most fabulous production I've seen in years. And it was about Michael Jackson rising from childhood to fame and everything that happened. But, we were looking around. Storm wasn't sure he really wanted to see it. And then we were both stoked at the end. But the reason I'm bringing this up is we had fun. Yes, it was friendly. It was a date. But you guys think we were on a date. Oh, that's when we went to Cotta Soleil. Then we went over the hill. And then you think incorrectly. You assume. And they always say assume is
making an ass out of yourself.
Out of you and me. Yeah, it makes an ass out of you and me.
For sure. And not to mention, I ran into some very famous faces.
You saw very famous people at this very famous venue, and I wanted you to see the architecture and the beautiful artwork and the exquisite details. It was built in the 30s or 40s. That was really old Hollywood back then.
It was.
I've
been coming back and forth for several reasons. And, not just you there, I know Mickey's there, and I know a lot of other people that live there.
Well, you're coming back for an audition. I mean, you have business. No, people, I am not opening the doors to Hollywood for Storm like you think. He's not riding my coattails any more than I'm riding his on YouTube. I mean, if anything, I've mentored him in some areas, which is how it all started. And then he's mentored me in some areas where I didn't know because it's a different generation. And I've joked, I'm old enough to be his grandmother. I don't look like a grandma, but anyway, but let's go to the garbage that's going out online now as of yesterday. This bullshit. Oops.
This is Charisma, and she claims that we're lovers and that we're having a thing, a whole love affair. And what do you see when you see her?
A depressed, unkept, sad, unfulfilled person.
Oh, wow.
Her face is kind of expressionless. Her hair needs to be redone. She needs style. She's not really dressed for the part per se. And I listened to like the first 10 seconds and I called you. I said, what is this? Because I don't want to listen to the crap. I don't want it. She thinks she knows everything about me. Storm told me what it is. I even went on her wall and left a comment. She deleted it because I told the truth. I told the truth about legal. She was slandering me, and my attorney loves internet slander because he's an internet attorney, and she's talking bad about my intellectual property. She's spreading rumors that I'm having an affair with somebody I'm not. She doesn't know the facts. I also said that, I mean, whatever I said, it was enough that she took it down. So I'll probably go back and put it back up and we'll play little games because she wants to be right. But I think she's so hungry for attention. This is how she gets her attention. But if I look at her now, she thinks, people, I'm a white woman having an affair with a black guy. Well, she's a black woman having a long-term relationship with an older white guy.
With a white guy.
So who's she to judge whatever I do? She doesn't know my boyfriend. She doesn't know my social life. She doesn't know anything except what she thinks she knows because Storm and I showed up on his phone. We were sitting on the sofa on the phone. I had no makeup on. It was the worst lighting. And we were just chit-chatting for like 20 minutes before I sent him home. I sent him home or to the Airbnb, and all of a sudden all this stuff pops up, which is the beauty and fun and craziness of the internet because it's not true. I feel that she gets her fulfillment with the people chatting, but she's looking for something, and it looks like her eyes are mysterious. Like it's like the light's not there. She's not, I can't see all that. And I'll go look if I feel like wasting my time. But who is she to judge what Storm and I have done when he flew out here on his dime as a friend to attend a party that you met some cool people?
I mean, look, in a room full of millionaires, there's nothing wrong with that.
There was a lot of money at that.
A lot of money, yes.
Lawyers and actors and my father and the people, it doesn't matter. But the thing about the exquisite backgrounds or wealth of the people that were here, it wasn't
flashy.
Right. It was not a pretentious party where people are all about their Gucci's and their Yves Saint Laurent.
But I learned real wealth is not loud. I learned that.
No. The real wealth is quieter. That's why the book Millionaire Next Door is out, where they wear more jeans and they're downplaying, or they're in an SUV, or they're in a nice BMW, but they don't have to always flash the Mercedes with gold chains hanging off the mirror. There's ways of being presentable. But this one thinks she's got me and Storm pegged to a T. And she has no clue. If you want to play something, go ahead. I don't know.
No, I won't even play. We've given her enough promotion, but I just want to say, hey, Charisma, how are you? You've been obsessed for many, many years.
I heard she's been obsessed with you for 4 years. So she's got a fantasy going. She wants to do you, be with you, be a part of you. Well, it's not going to happen. It isn't going to happen. And if she's so well protected by her white sugar daddy, who is she to say that I am your white sugar mama? I am not his sugar mama. Like I said, even when we were with a celebrity, a TV celebrity on Wednesday, we went for pizza in this little divey restaurant in the middle of the lower class neighborhood compared to where we are. And guess what, folks? all three of us split the bill. Nobody
split the bill.
All three of us, 3 people. We didn't ask him to pay, her to pay, me to pay. We just put in our credit cards. That's how it works. Unless somebody's taking you out or it's assumed, or my friend picks up the bill sometimes, I pick it up and we go back and forth. But even though she was dropping some big names, they were still fun. You got to hear things. I don't want to say whose names, but they're huge, huge names.
Huge people. Yes.
Yeah. Huge. Not me, not you, not these listeners. Her life, where she comes from, because her husband was music. She doesn't matter. It's just the people I know, but it's not about always showing up in someone else's house. Yeah, it sounds glamorous and everything. Till you hear the story, and she even said what really goes on behind some closed doors, behind these names. It'll curl the hair on your arms. When you heard some of those stories, it's like, but you think the media.
They make it look glamorous, and then you realize it's not, and it's, I guess anything
it's work.
Yeah, anything is what you make it. Anything is what you make it, but it's a lot of dirt that happens behind the scenes. A lot of dirt.
I'm going to qualify. I am not Storm's sugar mama. No. White on top of it. Plus, my mother always said date a Jew, but so Storm's not Jewish. No, I'm kidding. Neither's the guy I'm in love with. Okay, so my mom's dead. Anyway,
what is he? Is he Polish?
No, let's not go there on the.
Okay, I won't air. Tell me.
Let's go there here. Let's wait a little. But the soul connects to people, places, and things. Somebody on your show last week said their animals have no soul or feelings, and I hit the roof because all dogs, animals, fish, cats, birds, rabbits, turtles, frogs, crickets all have souls. Everything that's alive has a soul. A plant
has a soul?
Hey, of course that has a soul. He must have been happy to see you when you got home.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's almost 2 years that Penny's gone. I posted it today. It came up in someone's thing. But here's another thing about Storm. Storm called me right at lockdown around March of 2020. Mm-hmm. Hi, my name is. Okay, I called. What do you need? Okay, well, I was doing some research on the Kardashians. I found your candles, and I want to understand, blah, blah, blah. I said, why don't you start with the reading? Then we'll take it from there. And I'm the reading, got into the candles. And I said, well, call me after you've had some time with the candles. So like a month and a half went by. I called one time. I said, how you doing with those candles? Never heard from this guy. Never had a call back. It's like, oh, whatever, just another client that doesn't give a shit. Next thing I know, I'm starting to get some new orders from a different demographic than I normally sell to. And I'm like, how are you finding out about me? Oh, on the Storm Show. I said, what? So I called him up. I said, what the hell are you doing? Because I'd never heard a show. Because I don't really care about the YouTube shows, even though I've got my own YouTube show. It's like, this isn't my thing, okay? I come from terrestrial radio before YouTube. But he said, I've been putting it on my show. So I started watching. I thought, oh my God. And I had to correct some of the details because not everything he knew was accurate. And I have to keep it clean for legal purposes. And he fixed it, but he was excited and exuberant and the passion came out. But they worked. And he still burns candles, people. His successes, his health, the doors that are opening, where he relocated from to, the fact that he can afford to travel like he does, because you get what you do, 4 or 5 trips, 6 trips a year, maybe. You're always.
I don't even know at this point.
But you've worked hard, and that money is part business write-off. But you've worked so hard, you can go to the Bahamas or the Mediterranean, or come out to LA, or when you were in New York for your birthday, or now you might even have a big bash for your. Who knows?
But that was the life I wanted to live. That was the life I always wanted to live, and I spoke over myself. And I try to tell people that the candles work, but you still have to work.
You have to work the candles. Now, if you can take what I just showed you with those that I did for all those people, if you can take that picture off the messenger, show them. I just did like 20 candles for clients of mine. Some are in Portugal, some are in Switzerland, some are in Colombia, and some are right here. I spent the afternoon and yesterday writing all these petitions, burning the candles, And did you get it on your phone? It's on your phone. I sent you. Maybe you can transfer it so they can see what it looks like when I'm burning candles. I did all this the last couple of days. So people pay me to do their work besides me offering to send them to you and teach you how to become the alchemist. There's oils, herbs, powders. There's a petition. The candle here, the candle in Kabbalah represents the soul of man. The wick, when lit, is the flame, which is light, which is God. I teach you how to write a petition. The petition goes into the flame with all the different oils, herbs, and powders. Storm came to me after, this is during his, I love the Kardashian stories, back in the day when he was hot on the Kardashians. And through digging, he found Chris, who was doing an infomercial for Dr. Linda Salvin on a product called Wicks of Wisdom. He digs, and he found me. Absolutely. Then we started working. I said, oh, you're broadcasting. Let me teach you. I watched the show and he's dancing on the table. I said, that's not going to get where you want to go. So I had to teach him a little, like, to kind of integrate him, bring him down, mold him just a little. I mentored him. I didn't charge him. I just said, do this, do that. And then we start talking. Then I realized there's a compatible friendship of intelligence, interest, kindness, and spirituality here. There's a spiritual connection. So Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Jackson were 27 years apart. But they understood each other because they're people. I'm 40 years older, 39 years older than Storm. But I'm not his mother. He was with his mom on New Year's at a really fun place here in the Valley. I'm not his mom. I don't tell him what to do, but he pays me at times that he's in need for my services, which is independent of our friendship.
And she has predicted so much.
Yeah.
With accuracy that it's scary.
I'm a real psychic. That's where a lot of people get.
Well, not scary for me. I'm not scared of it. Y'all be scared.
No, but the people out there on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the AIs now, oh, if you listen to this sound and save it for 18 minutes, he's going to call, she's going to call, the third person on your WhatsApp is the one giving you all this stuff,
Yeah.
It's not real. It's marketing to get someone to call, call for 3 minutes. No, it doesn't work that way. I've been doing this for 30 years. And when Storm was at my party, another person that came up to share their experience with me was Fred Missman, who's been on my show, who's now retired after 50 years in the radio industry. He's won awards for his voice as a creative director who does commercials. And he came up to say that there was another station in town called, what was it? Not KLOS. No, I can't remember the name of the station, but it doesn't matter. But they were in competition with the station across town because they need numbers. Everything's ratings, and TV, it's Arbitron.
Radio too. It's all ratings.
Are they ratings also? Yeah, I guess so. They have to compete.
The clicks and likes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just haven't played that game yet. But in TV, it's Arbitron. In radio, it's Arbitron. And TV, it's the different scales. But Fred got up to say that they needed to compete with the station across town that was doing love letters. And so they were looking for a psychic. And they interviewed over 300 people. I got the job. And Radio Psychic was born because of me and that man, Fred. It did not exist. And Storm can sit here and testify. He heard it from the horse's mouth.
Sure did.
Fred was sitting there saying, oh my God, it's 30 years. We know each other longer than, half our lives now. But he gave me the start. He gave me the title Radio Psychic. That was before I got my PhD. That was 1994. I got my PhD in 2008. So people, it's never too late to do something. I was 54 when I got the PhD. I was 40 when I got into radio. Now I'm 70. My book's coming out. I just got a new agent for my radio. I'm going to be on a lot of AM, FM talk stations, again, talking. And I also have another project that I can't talk about yet, but Storm knows what it is. That's next.
And speaking of that too, because I tell my mom the same thing because she's 51. Well, she'll be 52 in April. It's never too late.
Because we're still here. We think we're late. We sabotage ourselves. No, I can't start over at 40. No, I can't start over at 50.
Yes, you can. Get up in Tina Turner changed her whole life.
In her 50s.
50 something. She was bankrupt. She was $2 to $3 million in debt. She had to rebuild herself. She was an older woman. She was done. And she took herself from being $2 to $3 million in debt to, of course, dying a millionaire.
Yeah, in Switzerland?
In Switzerland. Yeah, she gave up her citizenship. So she lived the life that she wanted.
She wanted.
My mom at 51 published her first book. Is working on the second. Like, it's never too late.
No,
By the way, I told my mother 25 fucking years ago to write. But anyway, people will me one day.
Well, when you feel it, when it's right, it's right. Like someone said, what's taking you so long to publish your book? Because I've been writing it back and forth for 25 years. But it was never right. It was never done. There was another chapter. I kept growing. I wanted to add something, delete something, and now it's coming together to publish this year. And my editor had some great ideas with some of the articles I had published the last couple of years. She said, let's put them in the book in between some of the chapters. And I was like, oh, it's all coming together. That makes sense. So, and I want to talk to Storm about taking my dissertation from my Candle Magic on my PhD, because Lisa, who you met, my assistant, said, would you do your PhD dissertation? I said, Candle Magic. And I thought, oh my God, it's still sitting there, needs editing. I want to put it into an ebook. So I'll ask Storm how to do that. People, you have opportunity. What do the candles do? It opens those doors for love, getting rid of obstacles, negativity, curses, bad luck, brings in money, legal situations can be won in your favor. Health. I have a guy in Switzerland. I burn his candles for him, and he went to the doctor. The ultrasound couldn't show what was wrong with his foot. He called me after 2 years and said, I got this problem. I said, oh, it's this and that. He said, well, do some candles. I did some candles. He wrote a testimony. It's at lindasalmon.com. His foot started healing where the doctors couldn't, because spiritual and my diagnostic ability to see inside the body, where I can detect what's going on, not just making predictions. Oh, he's going to call you Thursday. You're going to take a trip on a ship, in August. It's more than just that. I have a diagnostic ability to feel and hear and see. And now I just did some more candles for him. And he said where he was at 80%, he's now at 95% healed in a month and a half. I don't know how to get this on your monitor, on your screen, all the candles I lit today.
Just send it to me. I can add it in after.
Okay. It's already on your phone. It's in your messenger. But people pay me to do the work. Pilots, cops, people that aren't always home, people that don't want to do the work. Storm knows it's a lot of work to do a set. You got to put in the oils, herbs, and powders. You have to write the petition. You have to burn it. You have to watch it. You have to move it every 4 or 5 days. It's work. And then it starts happening. But then a lot of people get lazy. Oh, I don't want to do it. Well, then don't tell me it didn't work. You didn't do it. Same thing if I give you a prediction and the time frame comes and goes that could have opened the door, could have gone to school, or could have met the guy there. Yeah, those are in a shower. That's not even all of them.
Yeah.
That's just what I do. It takes time. It's there's bottles of oils for formulas. There's all different formulas, like baking a cake, chocolate chip cookies, angel food cake, chocolate chip cookies, and maybe banana bread. They're all 3 different desserts, 3 different recipes, but there's different formulas to make an end result. That's the same thing here. I have one guy that paid me to do, I think he had 8 candles times 2. Yeah. Then the girl in Portugal, and then the guy in Switzerland. I mean,
it's a recipe for your soul.
Prescription for your soul. That's right.
Yeah.
I have to understand what you're going through to help you. Just like when Storm first came to me, I thought, oh, you need this, this, and that. And next thing you know, he was quiet, didn't say, hey, it worked. No, he just put it on the show. Like, oh my God, I found this thing. Oh, you got to call this girl. And this is how it started. So people, no, I'm not in bed with Storm. We're in bed, as you would say, in business. We're in bed together spiritually. We are not physically. Move that little screen and show the bed again.
Oh, wow.
Me. It does not.
Marvelous.
But if you guys want to think we're having an affair, go for it. If that's what your fantasies are and your vibrator's out and you want to imagine Storm doing his thing with a white woman, you go for it, girl or guy, whoever. And no, he's not gay. No, he doesn't do dudes.
Just a little bit. Just a little gay.
He might do more than
Let him
that.
think that. Let him think that. I'm straight, gay, and bi at the same time. Let him think that.
Storm is a human being.
Yes.
We all are. So why have labels and titles and whatnot? I mean, it's
And
one
there's
thing.
no, and I always tell them, listen, if I was gay, or if I, first off, yeah, I always skip over the bisexual part. But even if I was bisexual, that would only help my career. I am
Of
in
course it would, especially in
entertainment.
Hollywood. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm in entertainment. Do you know how many offers I've? Do you know who I could suck off for a show right now? It's
You don't
none of
want to
your
go
business.
that direction.
I don't. But if I wanted to, I could.
I can tell stories of some of the biggest celebrities out there that have sexually been abused, used, um, promised, and delivered. They got their show or they got their record deal, but I know publicists that told me what really went on behind the scenes with some of the record companies or the producers, and it's not always pretty. It's not always pretty. You got to pay a price to get to that level. And my friend George Brown, who passed away from Cool Gang, we used to talk about it. They were huge all over the world. They sold 70 million records. They could have been bigger, but they, as a band, decided no, they're not going to cross that line to succumb to what the tantalizing offers were to get them to that next step. No, you got to sacrifice and sell your soul, really. And that's not what a lot of people want to do.
It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's some things that we can't speak of that are despicable.
Correct. Not especially on online.
On
here.
the other side, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
but
worth it.
no, it's not. But the stories, and I know people who have told me, and I know people who have been there, done that, and I like my jaw drops because it's like, really, I don't want to go there. It's kind of interesting. It's like it's exciting. Oh, really? It's enticing, but do you really want to give up a part of you to have all of that, to have the mansions and have the fame and have the private jets and all that stuff? Pay for a price later. Now, a lot of the celebrities, how many are we watching die?
They're
How
dying.
many,
They're offering themselves.
or they have weird illnesses.
Yes.
There's something going on that's not being spoken about. I don't want to tap into that, although I do, but I don't think it's right to put it out there. But if you are without blinders, you will see the movie
Yes.
that we're in. You will see it. Just like I was saying to my friend today, Brian, who couldn't make it to the party. He was supposed to be in Mexico, but I found out today he and his boyfriend were moving some sofa and it fell on his foot and he had to be in the ER and they canceled their trip and he's in a boot now because he broke toes or whatever. But he will have on my show. I've known him since 7th grade, 8th grade, something like that. We go way back. He and his former husband, lover, they were together 46 years. You saw the book on my
I did.
Saw the book. They worked for President Reagan, both George Bushes. They were political fundraisers. So they were in the heart of Washington in those days when Washington was a little more together, cleaner, whatever you want to call it. I booked a trip in December. It turns out I've never been to Washington, D.C., but I just found this little place. Turns out right next door was the condo he and Keith used to live in. Of all places, I was right next door. But what I learned in Washington after sightseeing, for anything from George Washington all the way up to where we are now with Biden, with all the memorials, Eisenhower, Martin Luther King, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, World War I, World War II, there's always a war. And then you read on the wall the beautiful philosophical statements of love and compassion for mankind. Nobody cares. Nobody listens. It's always another war. It's always another situation. It's always another battle. And so they have all these monuments all around the city honoring the fallen. Arlington Cemetery, 440,000 people are buried, and 22 people are buried daily in that cemetery. All the service people. But we still have war. It's just a different president. It's just a different term. It's just another war. There'll be another monument. And I saw it. I saw the White House. I got to see the Capitol. Yeah, it was great. But then I looked back. I thought, history just keeps repeating itself. Nobody gets further than where we are. And when I spoke to Brian today, it was the same thing back in the 80s. Nothing has changed in 40 years, 100 years, 200 years. Yes, we have technology. Yes, we have an understanding. Yes, we have different medications. We're healthier in many ways. But internationally, or with racism or anti-Semitism, religion, all the isms, it's all the same.
Yeah.
They fight, they kill, they bury, and they start the next one. Like, why? For what? I doubt I'll ever go back to that city. I had a weird vibe, but I picked up all the negativity of the death and the wars. And I went to where Abraham Lincoln was shot, where Booth shot him. There's death all over that city. But there's power in that city. But where are they taking it? And why do we still have some of the disruption in the world? Look, it got war. Biden's term has the Ukrainian war, and then Bush had the Desert Storm, and this one had Vietnam, and this one had World War II, and it just goes on and on. Stop. Why can't we stop fighting and just be people living our lives? Why? There's money in the military. There's money in tactical weapons. There's money in war. It's always about the money, not the love.
It's always about the money. Well, I think we should leave that there. Tell them where they can find you, Dr. Linda.
In your bedroom, Storm. What are we, 2,500 miles apart or something? Okay, lindasalvin.com.
lindasalvin.com, as well as on YouTube, Dr. Linda Salvin.
Yeah. And listen to my radio station. It runs 24 hours a day at drlindaradio.com. People have been doing this a long time. You can hear shows from 20 years ago and last week. And Storm's going to be on my show tomorrow.
Yes.
Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern you can see it on YouTube and Facebook and Talk for Radio, all that. It's all there. Yeah, we're going to talk spirituality. I don't think we're going to talk about this, but that girl who did that little YouTube thing, you don't have a clue, girl. You have no clue. You need to get a life, but you think your life is on YouTube. Mm-mm. And it's not about Storm. It's not about me. Mm-mm. You just think, right? Shiraz, not Shiraz, whatever her name is.
Charisma,
Shiraz, they're all the same.
Let's hit the outro here.
It's Storm Show. It's Storm Show.